So I lost another second phone. Here now it was very funny. I was just going to Eldoret to do some shopping. So now I'm just rushing. Even that corridor, I remember it up to now. I was just rushing. It's where the people sell mutumbas. So I was just rushing, trying to kind of, I don't know even where I was hurrying to. But I was somehow rushing to go and pick where I normally pick cooking sticks. So I think I had like a group of people coming and pushing me like this one. Then somebody of our border rate appointed me. Look, they have taken your phone. Just turning my neck this side, I never saw that phone. It's just it was an instant. Like they say what? It was like a signal of right. And that phone just went like that. But I believe it was, but I somehow thought that maybe this one would have had some kind of waves and they could have caused cancer. So I just comforted myself in such a way and then left the phone. And that was my second phone I lost, and for me it was kind of a worst experience. But I was somehow used to Kabambe. I can shift between a smartphone and a Kabambe. So I adapted easily. So have you ever lost another?
Yeah, actually, one of the experiences that this one is funny. Now, this one was lost in Nairobi. I lost a phone in Nairobi. This one, it was in town. Actually, after losing this first phone at school, actually in the hostels, I remember I went home, and then one thing that I had to do was to hustle for myself and get another phone. That was the main aim, actually. And I remember I hustled. I remember we were given a holiday of almost 1 year, and that time I had to hustle. Then I got a phone, actually a second-hand phone, because I said I cannot afford these the first-hand phones. Now I had to use this one. This one was a Techno phone. When Technos were good, those times. So I remember this is the time that I was enjoying my phone, trying to browse through the internet, trying to look at some of the happenings or some of the things that are happening around the world and everything. Now I was just preparing now to come back to school. This one was funny because I was now preparing to come back to school. Now, during this time, I told myself that day that because I'm going to school on Monday, let me try my best so that I can get some little bit of shopping on Friday. So on Friday, I went out of the house and then I said, let me go walk some strides along the big roads in town, in Nairobi actually. And when I told myself like that, I strolled. Actually, I strolled. I did not use even a vehicle to take me there because it's not a long journey actually in between the places. So I strolled. As I was strolling, I remember I reached a point whereby those people who have come across the Ngong Road. Ngong Road is a very busy road actually, but it's a road whereby people are not so many, like at the center, at the CBD. So I went along the Ngong Road, and then because there we have a lot of supermarkets, we had the Uchumis when they were functioning, we had the Tuskys, we had the Nakumat actually, but Nakumat was now declining. Now, this time I met two guys. I met one guy first. Then when I met this guy, this was a funny thing whereby this guy started telling me a lot about myself. This guy called himself a prophet. He started telling me that we had they have a meeting in their church. I remember he told me of a church somewhere else, and I don't remember the place that he mentioned specifically, because actually that time I was totally confused, because he said that we have a church meeting on Saturday and I want you to attend. I'm quoting him. I'm quoting him now. I want you to attend this church meeting. And I believe that Jesus or God is going to do greater things in your life. Because actually, when you look at the length of time that I was at home, you could just say that for sure life was beaten me up. Because I've hustled, I've bought a phone, I've now struggled to start saving my money. Now that is the time now tragedy is coming.
Yeah.
Now I was wondering, what kind of life is this? This guy is telling me that now that I'm going to prosper in this life. I was let's say a beaten up person. I was like I had lost hope in life. Like this guy is not going anywhere in life. Now this person now looked at me and then said, this one is the one that I'm going to approach. He started approaching me by telling me of church meetings that were going to happen in that weekend. Now I believed, because I'm a Christian. Now believing, I told myself, let me listen to this guy. Now as this guy was talking, I didn't know that this guy was a con man. Now this guy had another person who was following him to check on whom they are going to con next. Because when he was following him, he just came there. Now this guy had told me of a story. This first guy had told me of a story. This one was older than the other one, the second one. Now this one was telling me of a story of some people. I don't know where he came up with this story, how he came up with it, because he started telling me of very big things, telling me of a certain woman who was having a problem in a certain village, and this woman prospered because he prayed for him, he prayed for her. And I was wondering, what kind of life is this? This guy seems to be one of the miracle workers. This one is a miracle worker because he can pray for a person and then this person gets rich. Now I said, now today is my day. I'm going to be rich. Now this guy started lying to me. He started saying that he started mentioning of something about airport. And then I told myself, now this is the time I'm going to get one of the biggest jobs in Kenya. Airport. He said that I am going to work in an airport, and that airport is JKIA, none other than the JKIA, the biggest airport actually in Kenya. Now I said, this is the time, this is the day that the Lord has made. Now when time came that this guy, I did not realize that this guy was calling me because I had never been in such an experience. Yeah. Now this guy lied to me, and then when this other person came, they started cooking their words, they started cooking their stories, trying to fix me in them so that I can believe. Now it was time for me to now do something so that a miracle can happen. You see? They convinced me that if you do this and this and this, the miracle will happen to you. Now you're going to work in JKA airport. Now I was like, wow. Now what they're going to say, I'm going to follow as a very humble Christian. Yeah. Now, these people told me that this is what is going to happen. What do you have in your pocket? I was asked. Now this other guy who came second was also told, what do you have in your pocket? This guy said that he has a wallet and a phone. Now this guy also behaved as if he's in the same company as me. Now he doesn't know anything. He was behaving like that actually. Now we were two fools.
That's two goods.
We were two fools. We were going to be fooled now. Now, the first thing that happened is that this guy told me that what I'm going to tell you, this guy will not listen to it. He's going to give you all your things, all his things, all his belongings that were in the pocket. That is the wallet and the phone, the Akabambe phone. Yeah. And then I took them and then I placed them in my pocket. I was instructed to put them in my pocket. And then I said, this thing seems to be real. Because how can they just trust me with these kind of things? Now I was given those things. Now I did not know that the wallet and the phone were attracting mine. They used that as a trap. They were
So that
attracting.
you can remove
Yeah,
yours.
they were attracting my belongings in my pocket. Because they now asked me, because when you look at this pastor, he looked like a pastor, but now he was, the funny thing that he was smelling, he was having some fishy smell. That is like he was a drunkard, He was a drunkard. But me, I did not realize that this guy is a con man. So on that point of taking those things, the belongings of this second guy, was the start of my tragedy. Now this was the start, because I was told I'm going to remain with this pastor, this self-acclaimed pastor, that he is going to talk to me some things, and then this guy whom I had taken his belongings, told me of the fact that he is going to walk like 100 meters away from us, that is in front of us. Now we were walking as this guy, this pastor, the self-acclaimed pastor, that we were talking as we were walking. Now as we were walking, he told me of a lot of things. He told me of he's going to do this, and he's going to make me a big person where in an airport I will be a manager. Well, when I heard the word manager, I said, now this is the miracle. The miracle is going to work now. The funny thing is that after we had reached this guy who had walked 100 meters in front of us, after we had reached that guy, now this guy came and told us, before that, he said that the first guy said that as we are going to talk, this guy is going to listen, but he's not listening as in he's going to tell us what we were talking, because the miracles are working in him. The miracles are being predicted in himself. Now he will be telling us what has happened to us, or what we've talked in between us. Now I said, now this guy came back. And then he started now predicting, or now telling me what had happened, what we had talked. But now I have not yet realized that these guys are conning me. Now their cooking method, their method is working. Yeah. Now when he came back, he told me that this guy has told you this and this and this, that there is a woman whom you did this and this, these two. They are trying to put the first story to be the last, but now they are mixing me up so that at least
so that you can accept.
Yes. Now they told me, now it is your turn. It's your turn now to take your belongings and give. I remember I had 2,000 shillings in my pocket, plus my phone now. Because they had asked me, what do you have in your pocket? And then I said, I have 2,000 shillings plus my phone. Then I gave out. I just, there is a person who is forced. There is a conman, or rather a thief, who can come and force you and kill you and do anything bad to you. But now these ones you are giving them. Just giving them in peace. Be honest. You're giving them in peace. Now I gave them mine. After giving them mine, now it was something different. Because now they were told him, now it is your time now to walk 100 meters. Up to that point, they showed me even the point. I remember. It was just along that Daystar, the roundabout whereby we have Daystar University, the roundabout there. Now I was there. When I reached there, my senses came back. Now I told myself, I've lost my phone. I've lost my phone. I've lost everything. Now I was wondering what happens next. Because when I looked back like this, now I did not see anyone. I saw people now. People were so many in that road. But when I was walking alone, there was no person. There were just cars, vehicles passing by. But now on my side, I was just wondering, now whom will I cry to? Who am I going to cry to? Because now you can't cry now. Because you don't know anyone in town. And you are the one who was just giving them in peace. Now I relaxed myself, and then I said, it has gone. But now I'm still confused, because now you can't get over such a thing in 1 hour or 2 hours. It'll take some days or months, because when you don't have that money to buy a phone, or when you had not planned to buy another thing, another phone. Where will you get that money? Now I was confused. I was completely confused and devastated. I went back home. I sat down. People were talking to me. I was not talking. I was mad. I was just like, I was numb, everything. I did not know what to do next. Now I started telling them my stories, and they were laughing back. I was like,
They are not getting.
they're not getting me. How can you give your things in peace? They did not even use power. They did not use strength in order to take them from me. They just took them in peace, and therefore, I got used to. I just told myself that maybe I will find some money. Now I also had to postpone my coming to school, because I remember that time is the time that we had to come so that we continue. We had been at home for a long time, and therefore we had to at least catch up with the content and everything in campus. Now my parents told me, you will be here for the next 3 or 4 weeks so that you can do what? You can look for something, do it, at least you get some money, then you buy another phone. Actually, that's what I did. And then I got another phone so that I could come to school, because I know in campus you cannot survive without a smartphone. Yeah, especially when you are still in school. That one is a very big challenge when you don't have a laptop. Please don't miss what? A smartphone. That is what happens in campus actually. Yeah.
So I think even the other way, what? It's like a few days ago when I was going live on YouTube, there was really somebody who was drunk. Coming, I've lost my phone, Tecno Spark 7.
You see this one.
And I was just, this person is even drunk. He's just coming to ask me, I'm shooting my own videos, and he's just coming to ask me, can I see your phone? Can I see your phone? But I believe through those experiences, it is become even more difficult. You can't even
trust anybody.
Yeah, even more especially those how can I say, unfamiliar people.
Yeah.
You can't really trust, because it's kind of a challenge. I think it's hard to trust somebody, and
actually you can't trust anyone with your gadgets. I remember this. Some people have lost things, and when they lose, you'll find out that they become numb, they become mad, you know, and it is something that is very devastating. Actually, it destroys someone's mood when someone has lost something. When someone has been stolen from, you know, when you steal something from them, it becomes difficult for their lives. They become numb, inactive, that is. They even have some senses or some thoughts which are not good. They feel like they want to kill themselves. Those are something that happen to some people, because there are some people who are short-tempered. There are some who they overreact to such situations because they had used a lot of money to buy such gadgets. Yeah.
So we need to conclude, but even that's why for me, even if I see a TV is being crashed, I really don't have any more sometimes. They deserve it. So we need to conclude this. Maybe your closing remarks concerning, and maybe to our viewers, remember to subscribe and also leave your comment. You can also like the video. At the same time, you can also share your own experience on how maybe you lost either a phone or some gadgets which you really were more accustomed to, something which assisted you a lot, but you ended up losing it. So our closing remarks.
Yeah, what I can say is that first, you have to be careful with the things. Be careful with the people who are around you, because mostly we cannot trust everybody who is around us. People are thieves outside here. You can get even the person whom you are used to. You talk to them, you do this and this with them, but they have filthy minds. They have different kinds of minds that they are willing to also make you or drop you down. They want to make you to go back to where you started, and that is not a good thing. So be careful with the people around you. Always make sure that you're conscious with the people around you, because when you lose conscious even a little bit, it is when you lose your biggest assets actually. Yeah.
I can advise you, our viewers, that wherever you are, just be yourself. don't rush to trust anybody, because there are these people, you find them that they are somehow, I can say, they are somehow unique, because they just come to you and they befriend you. You believe these are the people whom I have been looking in my life, but they have a goal or a target in your life, just to follow your steps everywhere where you make a move, trying to understand how you live, so that they can come into your life, con you, or do something to you which is going to depress you a lot. So be careful with the people you encounter with.
So as a closing remark, there is a song which I think is this person Nips Hussle, the late, remixed it, the song of Tupac. He said, "Trust nobody." So thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Peace.
Bye bye.